Happy Christmas Eve, guys. So, I've been playing a few more games of Dash DP. This is a fun build because I still feel like there's so much to learn. You know, other builds you can... not that I hit skill cap very frequently on builds that I try, obviously, but it feels like there's a ton to learn continuously every time I play this build, so it's kind of fun. Anyway, I've actually played a lot. There's maybe another 20 games, queues or so, that I've done since this one that I'm showing you on Game of the Day, but they're all a little bit crappy. This one, skipping to the end and seeing the end screen, it seems like a pretty good game. So I don't really remember the specifics just yet, so we'll roll our way in. Looking at our comp here, we've got one side noder, really, in the Weaver, and everyone else is kind of DPS. You've got me roaming around and trying to +1 decap. You've got a core guard and a rev that can pair off and do crazy damage together, and a reaper who's going to be very vulnerable but has got, you know, mass damage in an AoE capacity. But we've got no real, like, bread to hold the butter together, or butter to hold the bread together. You know what I mean? So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Coming out of the gate here. Oh, so here's the other thing. I've made two slight changes to the build. First of all, I'm not running Thrill of the Crime anymore. I'm running Lesser Haste, which has helped the build massively. The quickness uptime's really high, and the ICD on it looks really punishing on paper, but it's kind of not, because you spend a lot of time decapping and out of combat anyway. So, you know, most engagements when you go in, you tend to find that cooldowns up and you do get the quickness, so that's really nice. I have enjoyed that a lot. And then the other thing is I'm trying Impact Strike, which, let me be clear, the changes I've made to the build I'm not advocating or standing by or saying, oh, I know better, blah 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 blah. Impact Strike I don't actually think is very good, but it's really fun. There's never been a skill that I've experienced more where I'm like, well, that was really fun, but was it good? And the answer is usually no. It's just a fun skill. So I'm playing with it, and I have had some really cool plays with it where I've swung, you know, extremely important rallies and things with it. But the frequency of that happening versus the frequency of, like, Dagger Storm or I guess Bassy Venom, which I have played a lot of Bassy Venom, just not in recent metas. You know, the frequency doesn't really justify it. Anyway, so we're coming out at the start here, and I go for the stealth. So as we go for the stealth, we see that this enemy Guardian's coming in, and he's immediately tethered me. That's why I have the burning on me here. And what he's seeking to do is burst us as we clutter together to stealth, which is a very good idea, I think, really, if he catches us with our pants down. So I'm going to cluster bomb, and I get one, but then I immediately just dodge away. And we get that stealth in a perfect time here as well, because can you see how he's using the greatsword animations? Basically, he's pressing his buttons right now and his judge's intervention and stuff to pour in on us. But because that cluster bomb landed just at the right time, it forced a D-target off of him, and he judge's intervention on himself and used his greatsword stuff on himself. We know that he's used judges at least because he's got Fury on him, which he gets from the Grandmaster Monk's focus when he pops a meditation, and judge's intervention is a meditation. Anyway, so now he's out of position deeply, and we should punish the hell out of it. So I don't really like this guy walking up. We could just kill this instantly right now. So he uses his heal straight into renewed focus. Doesn't get much, you know, theoretically shouldn't get much value out of that. But so then, yeah, I'm just trying to pressure it, and I can't really. The enemy revs in. So again, I stealth, and I'm just leaving now because their close pointer is due to come in, which you can see here. A really, really crappy, silly mid. The guy that pushed up to the node as well went down. And so as I'm crossing, you'll notice my Weaver decided he wanted to cap far. And I get why he did that because... and I think I've pinged him, by the way. I've clicked him and thrown a target on him to make him move elsewhere. I get why he did that because, you know, he's sustaining. He wants to be on sides and stuff. But I've already decided for... I don't know, this is a bit clunky. Maybe I'm wrong for going for a decap here. But I don't think I really had any value to offer in that team fight anymore. And I think that, you know, we were already melting and dying. I don't know whether I want the Weaver to engage. He can obviously just dodge on that for ages and hold it if he really wants. But I don't want him to die there. If anything, I want him to sort of maybe stay near me or help anyone else who peels out of mid. Anyway, so I just go for the decap. And now I'm looking to help my Guardian who's being chased off. The big fight obviously not being that important. I whiff a really terrible infiltrator's arrow there. I'm getting a bit better at movement stuff now as well. So, like, pre-casting an infiltrator's arrow to leave the node before it's even fully decapped, but the travel time of the arrow means that I'll get the decap before. You know, little things like that I'm starting to nail. Anyway, so we steal in with a Heartseeker. We use blinding powder here just to stealth and backstab in position. And then here I'm using impact strike as well to instantly finish that. It doesn't really cause any rallies or anything, but it's fun as hell. Then I see that the Necromancer is leaving the... So, to rewind very briefly here, there's a lot of minimap focus, so if you guys want extra enjoyment out of this video, you should really watch the minimap. So, as we're doing this, okay, and here's the other thing with Impact Strike, you do get some nice interrupts. He just swapped to Glint, didn't he? Was he trying to heal and we interrupted the heal there? I don't know, anyway. As we stomp this, we did just see that the enemy team rotated out of mid. So far, what the enemy team has done is this. They've kind of zerged mid and won a fight, which is cool for them. But now they're bored up at the node and they want to get moving. So I pushed this guy who's, you know, got on my Guardian. Killed him. And as I'm doing it, I've noticed most of them are left. I swing the camera and see this guy's jumped down. No one's up there at mid anymore. So I go for the decap, and what I'm going to do immediately, you see I turn the camera around, is once I get this decap, I'm going to fight the Necro. The thing that frustrates me here is my Guardian, who was with me, probably could have turned around and hit this at the same time, and punished him coming down, and this decap would have been a lot safer and cleaner. But we don't actually get the decap in the end, because he Reapers up. So this guy's played very well, he's noticed immediately, and he's come up. And I'm a bit frustrated that I never got that assistance. Returning on the shadow step, we can see that some other players are around. Maybe the Guardian was warded off, rightly so, because you can see these two are here now. I start on the Reaper, but notice the other guy's low, so I try to target the other guy. I black powder and try to stomp it. Now, I get interrupted here because the Guardian cleansed the blind with his first auto. And then he popped the 2 straight away, which was good timing from him. The black powder position was okay for the Reaper, I think, personally. But even he manages to fear me, so maybe not. Anyway, there's a blood res, so I steal onto the Reaper who was already in Shroud, and that gives me stab. If my ally who was standing next to me, I would have given him stability as well, and we both could have cleaved this really comfortably. But he'd kited away a little bit, so he misses out on that value. But he does get the facet from Glint. Here I've just noticed that this guy's dropped off, so I'm going to go for another decap very quickly. There's a ton more wells here. I can't really cleave that. I drop a choking gas on the body and then come up. This might be a mistake because I do have Impact Strike up. There could have been some value in Impact Strike. But that's going to be such a heavy res. Actually, I think I made the perfectly fine play here, scoring this. I think this was not possible anymore. So I decap, and now what I'm going to want to do is support my Rev and help him peel out. So we come up onto the roof. And we interrupt the enemy Guardian. He renewed focuses. I give my Rev blinding powder here. I dropped a black powder as well, so I actually gave him double value from the stealth. I did that right as he gets CC'd by the Reaper. This is actually really good. Quite often when you try and make this stealth play for an ally, they'll insta-reveal themselves. And, you know, I don't blame them particularly for that. But because he got CC'd as it happened, he kind of can't in a lot of ways. So, this is actually really good because he survived. And now here what I'm doing is I'm clicking him to make sure that the stealth went through. And you can see here he does have the stealth icon on him. I just had a weird moment there where I was like, my God, no wonder people struggle with this game. I just had to, like, in the heat of the moment, look through all these icons, look at exactly where the stealth was and identify it. And that's natural and easy for me. But can you imagine new players, how overwhelmed they feel by this stuff? Anyway, so yeah, he stealthed and he kites out. So this was really nice because we've denied them the kill. They got the res, obviously. Feels bad. But we denied them a kill. We neutralized. We had an ally established on the neutralized node up there. And now we can plus that. And it's pretty good. I wanted this guy to come towards me as well, and I would have further stealthed him. The enemies are zerging back towards my players that pushed afar, who are already dead. So, in fact, the Ellie might still be alive over there. But that's an over-rotation from the blue team that I don't have to match. So I'm about to 3v1 this, but I don't think that there's any opportunity for me out for... Oh, no, I'm not about to 3v1 because this guy stayed. All right, it's a plus, and I knew that. I don't know. I can't remember. Sometimes I'm speculating as to what I'm thinking while watching the footage because the game's a little bit old. Anyway, this guy comes to kite down here. There's been a lot of good kiting in this game, I think. Whiffed a cluster bomb, saw the elite, had to dodge it. So a little bit low value there. Shadow shot in, get immediately CC'd. CC'd again. I go for the stun break. Now I know that the enemy team's probably finished dealing with this, so I stealth and go for the decap. Really crappy movement there. A very bad shadow step. Infiltrator's arrow, sorry. And I get caught. Also, big mistake here from me. What the enemy team did, the reason why we didn't see anything going on was after they zerged this, they went to kill Beast. The perfect play there was for me to steal Beast. I've gone through multiple phases of loving and hating Forest on this build. When people get better, there's so much kite potential on Forest. I kind of hate this build in a lot of ways. Like, it's a nuisance to get pluses when people kite a lot. And there's so much opportunity. So I'm kind of the opposite right now, perspective for when, I love about this map when I play like Fresh Air. Anyway, I've hated this map, but also you can steal bosses and make really good plays. This game's, like I say, about 20 games ago or something. And I wasn't thinking about that much at this point because I'm still a noob on this build. But that would have been really nice if I got the steal. Instead, I was just thinking monkey brain about a decap and stuff. So anyway, I have enough cooldowns to leave. I also get improvisation proc on my deceptions there, which is amazing. When you get deceptions proc, it's the best thing in the world. I've also, by the way, I could collect these bonus clips. I had a very cool double impact strike cleave because what I tend to do is steal in the middle of the last hit of an impact strike just to get that extra pressure and make sure the finish goes through. And also like to cleanse blind or whatever if you don't have the signet. And I've had it multiple times where the steal that I do in the middle of the last hit refreshes the cooldown and then you can go in on someone else straight away. Anyway, so my team has secured mid. So as little as I did going far there, it was still an okay play because we had so many numbers here. Where I'd really like to be right now is beach and watching for any kind of cross. Looks like my Guardian over here is doing that. Here we have the Spellbreaker, and I'm just trying to ward him off of my Reaper. Yeah, see, there I stole in early, and it would have been really awesome to steal in around now. This guy was self-rezzing, so I just throw a single cluster bomb over towards it to stop him. Not that he was going to be able to do that. Then I see that there's a res coming. But my allies are there, so that's fine. Here I'm just being really low impact, to be honest. Maybe I was just trying to keep myself in position to come secure this. A second ago I said I wish I was at beach. Yeah, this is why. It's not really my role to 1v1 that anyway. But if I was there, maybe I could have harassed the guy on the road and maybe help my team to wise up. So the warrior comes to counter my decap, which is, it's okay because I pulled the warrior away. My Reaper was chasing him. Now, you might think in that situation, just a couple of seconds ago, let's rewind so you guys can see. I won't talk about things that you can't witness. Right here, okay, my Reaper is pushing against the enemy warrior. Now, you can say, oh, you could just kill this very quickly. I really don't like that idea, though, because the enemy team's going to be respawning. I know that we are getting bleed value off of 2, but they will. It's a warrior, and the fight hasn't started yet. He could have any number of cooldowns up, so it could take a long time. Also, the Reaper's very immobile, so even if we score this kill, we're going to have a 2v2 afterwards, very likely. Me and this Reaper versus 2 of the enemies that respawn. And I don't think that any 2v2 like that's going to go particularly well. So I just don't like any of this. So I leave, and the second I leave, the Reaper knows to leave as well. And he's currently at liberty to do this because the warrior is occupied capping the node. So this was his last moment to get to safety before disaster, and he did it. So it's very good. But now we've got, the clunky-ass problem of nobody rotating to close soon enough. And I want to deal with that, but I'm not going to 3v1 whoever's there. We're very fortunate this Rev has been trying to self-res so much. So instead, what do we do? Well, both me and the Reaper are kind of left with nothing going on right now, which is really weird. But I do kind of believe that there wasn't, for these few seconds, much for us to do. So I do what little I can. I stealth him up. He knows to take it. There's a bit of a fight over here. Maybe we could go and help with. I'm just going to hold this stealth and hide behind some terrain or something if I can. But I look and the warrior's AFK. The fact the warrior's AFK is really good. So I've blown some cooldowns to go there, but that's fine. I was never going to 1v1 this. It was just if he'd left, if he'd started patrolling around the back there, I was going to decap. Him being AFK is really nice because what this means is we can 4v5 their team now wherever we like. And this is like another benefit of this build. If you force them to sit there like that, as long as my Weaver never pushes far, it's brilliant because we're just going to outnumber them everywhere. The Weaver's been positioned really well as well here as well, I think. Recognizing he's some of the only sturdy... he's the only sturdy build on the team. He's actually taken that job of sort of warding mid, which is nice. So I come towards mid. We kill the Rev. Like, it's fun. Impact Strike is fun, but there's not necessarily much value in what I just did there. It would have been better probably to just rot that there. So here, look, you can see this is exactly what's good. The Weaver can be outnumbered for a few seconds, and he won't get decapped. He can just dodge until there's a situation for us. See? And we take this. Oh, another thing I've got better at is de-targeting while heart-seeking. So, like, if I was fighting a low-health enemy on this ramp, right, and he's slightly out of range of my auto attacks, if I target and heart-seek toward him, what my character will do is leap in a weird way, and they'll just walk off, especially on, like, a downward slope. This is a really big thing. So, if you de-target and heart-seek while chasing them, you hit them, but you also end up slightly in front of them. So then all of your autos start landing as well. There's like no clunkiness, but you have to know to de-target while doing it. Anyway, so this is a bit of a Zerg. This isn't... from the end of the game, it looked like a really cool game, but this is actually kind of boring, to be honest, I think right now. There's not much smart going on. It's just... the enemy team is caught in these weird staggered scenarios where they can't do much. Here we saw... who were we fighting? The warrior, so no one's on the node, so I take the decap. Shadow return... I'm pretty deep right now, so I have to be careful. I stole onto him, I think, because he was in Rampage earlier, so I just thought I'll take the stab or whatever. This was a really nice sign. The fact that this guy turned here, I was going to just flee. I was expecting him to recap. But this was a really nice moment. You can often feel when it happens. When you've decapped the same person enough times, they always get, like, bored, or they try and change their tack because they're getting frustrated with it. Especially warriors. You know, warriors just pack such a punch. If you decap them enough, they tend to get really kind of frustrated with it because they just want to be in the fights. And this moment where, like, you could see he was, yeah, I'm going to go fight instead. So for that reason, I kind of stay. I'm very, yeah, like, look at this. The movement is really bad. Like that infiltrator's arrow. And I just leave. We've got a real problem with close here, and it's born from our comp. No one wants to be there, really. So here I help to 3v1 this down. And again, we kill it straight away. So this was pretty bad. This is a really rookie newbie mistake of mine there. I got us decapped in mid. Oh, I remember this, actually. So the enemy team's going to come back into this really majorly here. So let's rewind very slightly, because I just want to talk about how we lose this position. Well, I'm not going to rewind slightly. I'm going to rewind quite a bit. Okay, so here, at this point in the map, I just look at the mini-map, guys. You don't have to worry about anything else. I know that we would have lost a lot of context here. We have a double cap. Why do we... how is it in just a couple of seconds... we have nothing? The enemy team's going to equalize on points in a second, by the way. You know, we've got, like, double their points almost. We have a 2-cap. How do we lose from this position? Well, basically what happens is our Guardian goes Beast, and he's going to get decapped while at Beast. If we fast forward slightly, you'll see here. He kills the Beast, but he gets decapped. I decap the enemy, okay? But now, playing forward, the Guardian, after killing the Beast, instead of countering the decap, the Guardian wanders back towards mids, for this 2v1, remember, which I'm about to go engage with. I'm over here. I at least decapped. I think I did some work here at least. But so now we've lost close completely. If my Guardian had gone to close, I could be looking at that and thinking, oh, here's a plus. But there's no such thing for me right now. So now if we just play this bit of the game forwards again now. How do we lose mid as well? Well, that's kind of my fault, because as I come up around the back here... well, so what's going on here is I got a Necro near there, but he's fighting this Revenant. Really, that's where I should be. I should be with my Necro and Rev. I should be saving my Necro's life. Instead, I come to kill this, and as I do this, I let an enemy Necro decap us. So this is just kind of ugly. Here I'm going to my Necro now. I don't really have much. I just wasted blinding powder and everything. So here I drop a black powder next to the body, and what I'm going to do is cluster bomb in it to stealth it as they stomp. But as I'm about to do so, they cancel their stomps and just favor the cleave with the wells and stuff. And they immediately start CCing me. I don't know. Do I get it? Hold on. Let's watch that back. It looks like I get it. Did I actually... Oh, okay, so I did do it. I stealth him. The body is stealthed right now. Yeah, and I did land that. The stealth lands, they go for the stomp, but the stomp fails, and I've delayed their cleaving that out. I could now, like, steal in or something. So you can precast the F2, steal in, which will replace the F2, but because you've already began the animation, you'll get it. So if you precast F2 and steal in, what that will do is rip stability or whatever, potentially from whoever it is, and put a small daze on. And then this will put a long daze on. And what I could do then is res during the long days, theoretically. But I'm slightly out of range. Maybe I could have shadow returned and done that. Instead, I'm looking at the minimap, and, you know, that was a dicey thing to maybe go for. Don't be a hero, I guess, I think. And I see, look, there's a plus opportunity at close. The first plus that I've really had, it's a 1v1 in progress. I come and swing it for my team. We interrupt the elite. Rev comes back in as soon as he sees me. I give him stealth and blind the body and leave. More crappy infiltrator's arrow movement. It's just so bad. Here, so with the plus secured, I want to be at mid to help this fight. But the Rev's here, and I know he could kill me. I've not really taken any damage or anything here, but it's moments like this where you see I'm being very, very cautious. Here I throw the impact strike out purely just for the CC. Don't forget, it does proc palm twice. So we scare him into glint. I know he's got damage reversal, so there's no reason really to fight that right now. I'm just going to plink away until he uses the facet. Stealth up. We can backstab him if we want to in a second. There's the facet. So I'm going to backstab in a shadow step, but he's damage reversing. So I decide, I try not to by walking to the left, but I do it anyway. I guess the animation triggered anyway, rip. Here I drop some blinds just behind me. I don't know what that was there exactly. But this is now a 2v2, and I don't like 2v2ing because I'm not very good. It's looking close, but the thing is, I've already... The Rev is primed for a kill right now just because he's already gone through glint and stuff. And I know that, but the Spellbreaker's low in his own way, so it's really hard to know who to focus. My ally starts going to kite, which is excellent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus whoever he's trying to kite. So here what I do is... our cooldowns refreshed from a steal a second ago. So I shadow step up, and what I'm gonna do is stealth this body and res it. But I make a huge mistake. All I have to do is stay on this ramp, and I can res. Like if I stand here, this is perfect. I can res from above, stealth the body at the end of any kind of stomp. It's guaranteed. Instead, I dash into the hole. Well, mind you, I was being chased by this guy, and he's got the reveal facet. And in the hole, I'm now rezzing and in stealth, and I'm like, okay, this could be all right. But the facet can reveal us. We've obviously got the AoE pressure. And I'm going to keep doing it because I know I have Shadow Return, which will put me back on the node, stopping this guy from capping as well, for what it's worth at the same time, if this res doesn't go through. I can also counter CC them. So I've got a lot. But I get blind. I get dazed with a full counter. So this is kind of cool. All I have to do is Shadow Return. I press the button, and it doesn't move me anywhere. I don't get like a no valid path or anything. I guess it's to be expected it wouldn't move me anywhere because I'm in a really weird place. Again, if I was just on the ramp, it would have been fine. I'm behind the 100 blades here. I go for some counter days and CC just to try and save myself. Take a short bow, 3 evade. Infiltrate his arrow out. Looking at mids, they don't really need my help. They already have a numbers advantage. Actually, no, that's a 2v2. I guess, though, the brief moment where I looked at it, only one enemy icon was there. So I thought they had a numbers advantage. Maybe I could have plus the 2v2. So here I'm considering it. You can see with the cursor for a second, but I figured, no, we'll go for the decap. The other play right now is to save my Necro, who's now fleeing. Sorry, my Guardian, who's now fleeing. Wait, I thought the Necro went to close. We just saw him drop a weld. Am I crazy? Anyway, we take the decap. So now here, if you look, the enemy team's equalized. In fact, in 2 ticks, they'll be winning. And we just completely lost everything there, really. I think it does go back to the beast play. How often is it a beast play? So here I come towards the roads. I steal in early on the rev. I go for their rally, which we secure. They can now claim close, and now I need to really be at mids. This guy managed to self-res. I was coming up to support him with a stealth res. I give it to him anyway. He's on Shadow Walk? What am I talking about? Spectral Walk. Now, if I go up and that Necro's really smart, because I just stealthed him, what he can do is pop that, and we can blitz whoever's on the node, because he can just teleport back up. And I'm looking at his line right now. Again, more terrible movement here from me. But he doesn't. So I come up. I'm going to go for the fight, because either he was going to return with the walk and fight with me, or he was just going to walk up the other ramp. And I'm like, look, we got an easy 2v1 here. It's compositionally fine. So, you know, even if he can delay our killing of him with renewed focus, it will decap anyway. So I think that this is a good fight. I'm going to engage, and then the second I get towards it, I notice that the Necro didn't return or go to mid. Instead, he wants to plus close. So I'm not going to 1v1 that, so I immediately turn around and instead look at another plus opportunity, which is the 1v1 over on far. So, oh, not a 1v1. My guy's outnumbered. So here, this is a good kill. I'm on the wrong target. I still haven't actually noticed. Here, he's in Reaper Shroud, so I just dodge away. There, I missed my own black powder. How tired was I when I was playing this? Mechanically, like, it's so bad. My guy gets killed. I feel bad there. I kind of baited my guy into dying. My Revenant probably only pushed because he saw I was nearby. And he was going for the kill, and I was on the wrong target. I did nothing of any value, and he died 3v1. So here a second ago, what I'm actually doing is trying to survive right now. Basically, I'm here, and I don't have really any great cooldowns available. Oh, no, we got to go back a little bit further. Here, I think there's a Rev or something, and I'm going to get chased by the Rev. This is an enemy Rev here. Sorry that I'm replaying quite a lot. But what's going on is I don't fancy my odds initiative-wise. Here, look, I'm running from a Rev. I don't fancy my odds just walking on this open field away from the Rev. I feel like he's going to Shiro port and like super speed and just stay on me. So here, you can see I'm being chased. So instead, what I do is I move straight back through him and steal to the furthest away target. And then I take a short bow 3 evade. And I'm just doing this to try and survive. He gets a shackling wave through the wall. That's what this whole game is here. His unrelenting assault doesn't move with him as I am in as I infiltrate his arrow, which is kind of weird. Anyway, so yeah, we got a real struggle now. And I don't think I've been too good recently. I think I picked the right engagements. I just didn't do enough at them. We steal in on this low target. Here we want to kill it because we want to rally. So you can see I'm targeting this guy. It's bad gameplay here as well because I black powder and spend the initiative, even though the guy already used his knockback, which was totally unnecessary. I go for the stomp, but the guy who was down on my team didn't rally, so then I'm walking towards it thinking, oh, can I help him? But then I realize that they've already won that fight there anyway, and they don't need me to res it. So now this guy is the guy that needs the help, so I come towards him. I give him dodges with the Signet. I give him stealth. We target him to see if he got it. He didn't. He's revealed. He's a Weaver. He would have been pulsing damage. Even there, we just saw he evasive Arcana dodge rolled and got some stuff. So instead, now I'm CCing to counter pressure. Again, 2 CCs there. Some headshots. He's on damage reversal. I'm just trying to get the Weaver out. The Necro comes down, so I know that there's a decap. I can't do much else to save the Weaver anymore. Reaper comes to counter it again. He doesn't make it in time this time. I have 2 allies there as well. So that was actually a really nice decap because what it means is my team who's fighting up there in a potential 2v2, they're fighting on an empty node. And with the enemy team on so many points, that's really important. Here, you'll notice I've not thought about, even on post-commentary, I've not really thought about beasts in any way right now. I will get better at that, though. And on the games where I do think about that, I really enjoy Forest. Even if quite often I don't land it. I used to, when I used to play DP and think about beasts and stealing beasts, my understanding was it was like, if you Heartseek steal at any point where they're below like 20%, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it. But these days, it doesn't feel like that lands. I feel like the damage has dropped quite a lot. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm very rarely getting the steal. I feel like I have to go in for my damage at a lower threshold. Maybe it's because Mug used to be able to crit and stuff, and now it can't. But yeah. Anyway, that's not really relevant to this game. We score a kill on the roads, and then come up to So here's one of the only impact strikes that might have actually been a valuable impact strike. Let's rewind this. Sorry, while I was rambling about beasts, important things were happening. There's no opportunity on far because that would just be a 1v1. We want to secure the mid-fight, which is split into 2 separate engagements. One here and one up at the node. So I steal to this guy and help pressure him down. He just swapped a glint, so we know his facet might be there. Unless it's his second time through. I use my just thrown abilities to kill him there. So he goes down. I come up towards the node, and I have 2 dead allies. I have a dead Weaver and a dead Court Guard. We did just get an allied Reaper come up, so I'm about to 4v1 this body. But, there's not too... Well, in fact, we're about to 5v1 it, because I think even my Rev is leaving that. This is crazy. The Rev really could be looking at Beach right now to stop us getting decapped on close. Anyway, we come up, and we impact strike the guy. And so here, what you'll see is in the last hit of the impact strike, I got blinded. So I pop the signet to cleanse the blind right before the final impact. And because my Rev just came bombing in at the same time as well, we get just the right amount of damage to, with the last hit, kill the target. So he doesn't even get a down state. And that rallies both the guys. Which actually is pretty good, because if we didn't do that, in down state, the Reaper might have been able to auto one of them to finish them off, you know. So anyway, so yeah, we get that. And now the enemy team's largely on respawn. I'm the one rotating here because I know that the beach is the place to go. That's a waste of time. Dodging into a wall is a waste of time. Like, I think, personally, you can probably tell a noob thief literally just from watching the way they walk around the map. That's it. Just the way that they dodge, just where they use their infiltrator's arrows. You don't have to know anything about their skills, where they rotate, anything. You can probably assess a noob thief, such as myself, purely just from their movement. Anyway, so he Reaper Shrouds for the mobility and leaves instantly. So the fact he leaves instantly, I'm going ham here trying to get the kill. I don't really want to 1v1 this, and when he's got the luxury of being at a node, this is going to be really hard. But he knows if he wants to win the game, he has to be at the node, so I get free damage. This is why fighting on the roads is good. So here, I'm just trying to kill him. I headshot him in the middle of his hill, but it's too late. I don't know about that. It doesn't feel like it should be too late. He goes Reaper Shroud again. I've got a Rev behind me now. So, obviously, I don't want to die. If I die, I give them 5 points, and everything's really crucial right now at this point. So, he dipped out again, and I, like, Whale of Doom or something. We keep on him. Here I go for the impact strike, and I steal in the middle of it as well. The idea... So, I got non-crit, non-crit, non-crit there. If I had got them, this might have been an instant stomp, and it would have been, like, really cool. But it didn't crit on all those occasions. Then he shrouded anyway, so... the Shroud will corrupt any might I have and turn it into weakness. So I have to leave. I port out. And yeah, we snowballed at far. And there you go. That's a game on Forest. And the reason I picked this was because it was the enemy team at 488, our team at 501, and we are on 10 kills, 0 deaths. So it looks like, you know, scoreboard-wise, I probably did quite well here. On post-commentary, I feel like there's a lot of little things, though, that I could have done much, much, much better with. But hey, there you go. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And Merry Christmas, I suppose, as well, if you're only watching this. I'm recording this right towards the end of Christmas Eve. So by the time you watch it, it could be Christmas already, especially, obviously, if you're over in OCX. Hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I'll see you for another one very soon.